Today we will talk on splitting of work. I am KM Soni, former ADG CPWD, New Delhi. We know that splitting is done in works contracts. Let us define what is splitting. When a sanctioned work is divided into various components, that is in two or more for tendering purpose, it is known as splitting. Suppose a work cost rupees 100 crore, having three buildings as admin building, office building and hostel, and suppose the cost of these three buildings is 30, 20 and 50 crores respectively, and there is one sanction for 100 crores for all these three buildings, but then tenders are invited separately for each building, then it is splitting. Similarly, suppose for a work costing 200 crores, having only one building, tenders are invited separately for civil component, E&M component and horticulture component. Or suppose development services are there, then a separate tender is invited for development services. It is again a splitting of work or sanction. Therefore, splitting may be in a work like civil, E&M, horticulture components, or within a specific component like for civil, E&M and horticulture. Then sometimes some manuals specify that splitting means if subheads are specifically mentioned in work sanction, then it is not considered splitting. If single tender is invited for that particular subhead. So that is as per the manual somewhere. Then splitting may be for main work and then O&M. Suppose sanction is for main work as well as for operation and maintenance of that particular work. Then suppose we invite tenders separately for main work and separately for O&M, then this will also be considered as splitting. Then why splitting is done? Particularly when sufficient contractors are not available for a bigger work than who would qualify in eligibility criteria, then that may result into limited competitions. That's why we do the splitting. And then when main component of work is going to take considerable time and its completion is likely to result in change of technology. Suppose for CCTV also we have invited the tender along with main work, and then we feel that technology will change, then we do splitting. And sometime when an encumbrance free site is not available, then also splitting is done. Sometimes there may be pressure from local agencies to split the work so that they are eligible to qualify as per split components of the work. Then there may be departmental policy and pressure from contractors of different components that they should be given different type of works because they are specialized for that. So splitting is done. Then there may be requirement of splitting due to technical competence not available with one contractor for all the components where sanction has been received. So that's why also splitting is done. So splitting may be done because of different reasons, and let us consider the advantages of single contract without splitting. Generally, resourceful agency is received if single contract is there, and then that may be competent work. Then there is a single point coordination and responsibility. Overall coordination may result in better quality and timely completion of work. And there is a less wastage at site because large number of contractors are not there. Then we require minimum contract management and minimum contracts, hence less efforts by supervisory engineers. And then different rates are not received for similar works. Even similar works, suppose three buildings are there, then we will not receive different rates. At the most it may be almost similar rates. So that is that because one tender is there, so different rates will not be received. So that is the advantage. And then basic we must understand that a larger agency, resourceful agency, and that is the major advantage. So that we go for single contract and for the coordination and responsibility. We can always fix responsibility to a single person, because too many contractors means responsibility fixing is difficult in that case. So these are the advantages, and normally people are going for single contract nowadays. Let us see the advantages of splitting. We know that if there are 4 contractors, one contractor, and he is subletting the work or he is subcontracting the work, then the profit will be shared by both of them. So the cost of work may go up because of the contractor's profit, even in case of single tender. But suppose splitting is there, then only contractor profit will be at one place. Agencies possessing technical know-how of all components can be engaged separately. Suppose civil, electrical, horticulture is there, then they are expert in those areas, so that is better for the agencies to work. No fear of main agency not paying timely to subcontractors or associated agencies. As suppose civil person is getting the job, then like E&M and horticulture, they will not be there. So sometimes if the payment is not on timely, then this results in delays and disputes. Then employer not fully dependent on one agency and able to produce some components, as in case of failure of single agency, entire projects get disrupted. In government contracts, guidelines are issued from time to time for splitting by organizations and CVC. In general, splitting has to be avoided, and in case splitting is permitted and resorted to, reasons of splitting should be recorded in government projects. Approval of splitting should be taken before invitation of tender, that is important, and tenders to be dealt as per manual provisions of the organization. So thank you very much. I'm KM Soni, retired ADG CPW. Thanks.